Back on the campus of Shepherd College. Jamie, we're just moments from game time now. Any quick final thoughts on what we're going to see here tonight between these two clubs?
I'm just excited about this. Both teams play a tough physical brand of ball, fast pace up and down the court, and it's what the fans like to see.
It's going to be a great game. And while we're talking about the game, now we're joined by the head coaches. First, Jefferson coach John Lowry. Coach, first of all, good luck tonight. What do you expect to see from Martinsburg in this championship game?
Well, I expect to see a tough, hustling Martinsburg basketball team just like we saw last night. You know, I said early in the year that Martinsburg's king of the hill until someone proves otherwise. And I think last night the way they played epitomizes why their program's been so successful over the years. They come out, they play hard, they take it to you, and Coach Rogers, as usual, has done an excellent job with those kids.
We talked earlier in our pregame about a slight advantage you may have before the game starts. They had a very hard-fought basketball game last night, came down to the wire. You're a day rested. You had a fairly easy opening round game. Will that come into play in this one?
I don't think Jefferson ever has an easy task against Martinsburg. I think they've beaten us something like 11 times in a row, and I don't think there's any edge to us tonight at all.
You talked about last year, 3 games, all of them close, but Jefferson lost all of them. Is this a possibility to get off the season on a right start?
Well, it's certainly something that we'd like to be able to get over the hump on, and that's what we're playing for tonight. It should be a good game.
Coach, thank you very much. Good luck tonight. Jamie is standing by now. Jamie, you have Martinsburg coach Dave Rogers.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Dave has a height advantage on me tonight, and Dave, Coach Lowry said they have a lot of respect for your program, but once they step on the floor, that respect is going to take a new meaning. They're going to come after you.
Well, they always do. You got to realize that Jefferson is a good basketball town and county, and always has been when the three cities merged together. They're great in tradition. This is probably their year. They've got 4 starters back. They got athletes. It's going to be a very, very tough test for us.
You felt early in the season that your team lacked a little experience, losing all 5 starters. I think you gained a little bit last night, though, in the close ball game.
Well, we did. I thought our kids played extremely hard, and I thought they hung tough and could have folded a couple times and didn't. And again, we were playing against a veteran team in Hedgesville who, again, had 3 starters back. So, early in the year when you have starters back, you're always ahead of the game. In the midseason, that kind of pans and irons out and levels out there. But at the beginning of the season, those with the returning starters definitely have an edge.
Well, good luck with victory, career number 310.
Thank you.
We'll be watching for you. Coach Rogers and Coach Lowry, 2 classy guys, but they have had some battles over the years.
They certainly have a couple of fine high school basketball coaches, and there's no reason to believe, Jamie, that this game will be any different than the 3 they played last year. Talking with the Jefferson coach early, Coach Lowry said, 3 basketball games, they all came down to the wire. We were on the short end of the stick. I'm sure they'd like to win one here this year.
I think they would. Martinsburg, will use Antonio Adams, had 19 points last night. He's the player to watch. And for Jefferson, 2 players. Bootsy Washington runs the show. He's a great point guard. And Kevin Smith, a transfer from Florida, has been their leading scorer.
Yeah, he comes off the bench and provides quite a spark for the Cougars. It's going to be a great basketball game. Jefferson High School against Martinsburg in the finals of the Shenandoah Federal Shootout. This is the Big School Championship. We'll be back with more on the personnel and the starting lineups right after this.
For the past 18 years, Shenandoah Federal and its employees have promoted area youth and have worked for the betterment of education in our community, from kindergarten to elementary school, from high school to college. And once again, Shenandoah Federal stands behind our pledge to support the future of education. That's why we proudly sponsor the Shenandoah Federal Holiday Shootout, showcasing the basketball talents from 8 area high schools. Come out to Shepherd College December 26th, 27th, and 28th and cheer on your home team. Sponsored by Shenandoah Federal Savings Bank, FDIC insured. APR, PMI, points, escrows, confused? Shenandoah Federal will help end the confusion in planning your first home purchase. And we offer a special savings plan to help make that purchase possible. Home Saver Plus. Come in today and let our home loan officer show you how. With the help of the Home Saver Plus savings plan, you can fulfill your dream of owning your own home. Home Saver Plus, a home savings plan that pays you our regular savings rate, plus up to an extra 3% cash bonus toward the purchase of your new home. Shenandoah Federal, helping you achieve the American dream with Home Saver Plus. You can do it, and we can help.
Number 21, Gary Shook. Number 24, Cato Oliver. Number 22, Scott Hager. Number 32, Mike Sinnett. Number 23, Kevin Crawford. Number 34, Kevin Smith. Number 24, Pat Michael. Number 40, Charlie Lamb. Number 31, Larry Mullins. Number 44, Ron Kidrick. Number 35, Rich Sutherland. And number 52, Eric Harding. And now for the starting lineups for the Martinsburg Bulldogs. At forward, he's a senior, 6 feet 3 inches tall, number 30, Antonio Adams. For the Jefferson Cougars at forward, he's a junior, 6 feet 3 inches tall, number 54, Jamie Stevenson. At forward, a senior, 6 feet 1 inches tall, number 44, Marlon Green. At forward, a junior, 6 feet 3 inches tall, number 50, Pedro Gonzalez. At center, a senior, 6 feet 8 inches tall, number 33, Tal Thompson. At center, a junior, 6 feet 7 inches tall, number 42, Brad Lewis. At a guard, a junior, 5'10", number 32, Corey Grantham. At a guard, a senior, 6 feet 1 inch tall, number 10, Joe Poland. At a guard, he's a junior, 5 feet 10 inches tall, number 13, Kip Shallis. At guard, a senior, 5 feet 8 inches tall, number 30, Bootsy Washington. Ladies and gentlemen, your officials for this evening's contest, Mr. Anthony Allen and Mr. Jim Pearson.
Okay, there you have the starting lineups and also the officials for tonight's game. And all you got to do now is stand back and enjoy an outstanding AAA basketball game tonight between Martinsburg and Jefferson. And right now, we're going to send it back over to our colleagues for the play-by-play with Jay and Jamie.
All right, and we're set for the tip in this one. It's going to be a great game, Jamie, now that the stage is set. From watching the game last night, what is Jefferson going to have to do, in your estimation, to shut the Martinsburg team down offensively?
They're going to have to attack the boards, Jay, and they're going to have to put a body on Tal Thompson. He's been all over the place last night. He's a great player. He's 6'7", even though they introduced him as 6'8", and they need to pack it inside to stop Martinsburg's inside game.
Well, I think we should see a good battle inside. Tal Thompson, the 6'7" senior, he's going to go hard against Brett Lewis. Should be a lot of fun, and we're set to go in the Shenandoah Federal Shootout. This is the championship game in the big school division. Of course, the small school winner was decided just moments ago. Musselman wins there, 68-67. That was a good one, Jamie.
It sure was. Both schools are bringing in different guards to start. For Martinsburg, Corey Grantham didn't start, and Joel Poland for Jefferson.
And Martinsburg controls the tip. It goes to number 32, Corey Grantham. He's going to set the stage for the Bulldogs. Jefferson runs the 1-3-1, Jamie, and they, talking with Coach Lowry earlier, won't press too much tonight. Grantham for three, and it's off the mark. Rebound slapped around. It's going to be Jefferson ball. They come the other way, wearing the white uniforms with maroon and gold trim.
Jefferson would love to see Martinsburg sit outside all night.
The outside shot is good for Pedro Gonzalez. He wanted three. His foot was on the line. He'll get two, and Jefferson jumps out to the 2-0 lead.
One of the Cougars' strength is their perimeter game. They've got a lot of players, both off the bench and starters, who can light it up from outside.
Antonio Adams,
one of them.
Excuse me, Jamie. Antonio Adams is one to watch for the Bulldogs. He gets off the 15-footer, no good, and Martinsburg is quickly 0 for 2 from the floor. Jefferson pushes the other way. Gonzalez loses it out of bounds, and it's going to be Martinsburg basketball. Early in the season, I should say, is usually when you see the teams struggle with the basketball on offense. You probably see a good number of turnovers here in the early going. Teams will be feeling their way through the game, but I think as the game goes on, teams will settle into their offense.
If it's anything like last night, there'll be turnovers the whole game because both teams went at it hard, and at that intensity, it's going to happen.
Tal Thompson's shot was blocked underneath by big number 42, Brett Lewis. That's going to be a battle that we'll keep our eyes on inside. Thompson, good player for the Martinsburg Bulldogs, and Lewis doing a good job this year for Coach John Lowry.
Round 1 goes to Brett Lewis. It was a great play.
Nice move inside by Corey Grantham, but he can't get the shot to fall. Martinsburg 0 for 3 from the floor in the early stages of the game, and gotta have a foul.
That's the first, Jay, that we hear from Marlon Green. Watch him tonight. He's like a Charles Barkley on the boards. He really attacks, and that is, you can't put a price on that for Martinsburg.
Pedro Gonzalez whistled for the foul, obviously his first. Nice move inside by Antonio Adams. He hits the deck hard. The ball's going to be out of bounds.
Another rebound for Green.
Boy, nice move inside by Adams. He's limping a little bit. He hit the deck pretty toughly, and he's going to be ready to go. He's come back inside now. He's going to inbound the ball. Taking a seat for Jefferson is number 50, Pedro Gonzalez. He has 2 points, the only 2 of the game. 6:20 to go, 2-0 Jefferson. Baseline shot is no good for Kip Shallis. Martinsburg now 0 for 4. But there's a bucket, but count the travel before the basket. No points for Antonio Adams. 2-0 Jefferson.
We asked Coach Lowry to characterize this game when we were having a chat with him before the teams entered the floor. He said, this one, Jay, will be a battle of the rebound. So far, Martinsburg is winning the war.
Joel Poland off the mark with the 3. Martinsburg boards and runs the other way. Grantham, nice move inside. Can't get it to go, and it's rebounded by Jefferson. Good move there. Grantham, Jamie, a 5'10", 135 junior. He's got lightning quickness.
And he had a great game last night. A little bit of inexperience, but he came up big for Martinsburg when they needed someone to play point guard.
Boy, 3 inside chances for the Cougars. They can't get one to fall, and a whistle and a foul underneath. That will send number 10, Joel Poland, to the line. He's going to shoot 2.
More on Corey Grantham, Jay. At the beginning of the season, Coach Dave Rogers for the Bulldogs said, we need somebody to step forward, play aggressively, take charge of the team and become a leader. And I think Corey Grantham did that last night. When they needed someone down the stretch to run the team, settle things down, it was Grantham who did that and hit a couple of big buckets.
2-0 is our score, Jamie. 5:39 left in the first quarter. Kind of a slow start for both ball clubs. I know Jefferson talked about getting off to a quick start early, but it hasn't been that way. They have a 2-0 lead, and I guess at that point they'll take it. The story so far has been the cold shooting for the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Jamie, they have not been able to buy a bucket.
No, but they've been getting their chances, and those shots will start to fall soon. A lot of their shots so far have come in the paint, Jay. They're really taking it to the basket, and you like to see that early.
Boy, that win last night for Martinsburg, what a great game that was, 69-63. You know, for a while it looked like Hedgesville was in serious trouble late in the game, and they came back, and Martinsburg, a true test of their character, holding on to win that basketball game. I know you had the call on that one, Jamie. Is Martinsburg going to be able to give 110% here after the way they played last night?
I think they will be. Coach Dave Rogers has his teams ready to play. That's one of his trademarks. He is a great coach. He wouldn't have 309 career victories if he wasn't. Martinsburg will be ready to play, and I think they've showed that. They haven't played timidly at all.
Joel Poland misses the first. He gets the lucky bounce on the second one. He now has 1 point. It's a 3-0 Jefferson lead. We've got 5:35 to go in the opening quarter of play in the Shenandoah Shootout Championship game. Adams, 18, can't get the roll. Nice rebound underneath by Big Cal Thompson, but he, I guess, shuffled his feet. Did they call a travel there, Jamie?
That's exactly what they called. Thompson had a few bodies on him and just couldn't get his control. He got a little too far under the basket.
Grantham out on D at the point. Jefferson kind of spreading the offense around.
That is Mike Sennett with the ball, and he has been a great sixth player off the bench for the Cougars this year. More on him later.
Well, and a nice drive attempt there from Jamie Stevenson. He shuffled his feet a little too much. Another turnover, and boy, we've seen plenty of those. 3-0, 5 minutes to go, first quarter. Martinsburg looking to break the scoreboard. Adams in the paint, gets tied up, kicks it back. Grantham over in the corner. Shallis will get it back to Grantham, and they'll regroup, catch their breath. Adams cross court, now it goes low to Thompson. His 8-foot baseline shot, no good. Nice rebounding underneath, but they can't get the putback. Marlon Green, Jamie, good shot there with the rebound, but couldn't get his shot to go.
He's had a couple of those. This is Sennett.
Bulldogs ball as they run it up the other way.
A key early on for Martinsburg is going to be Antonio Adams because they're packing the zone against Tal Thompson, Jay. And if Tal can't get his game on track, they're going to need to go to Antonio Adams to open things up. Adams hits from the perimeter, and then all of a sudden, one less guy is there to guard Tal Thompson.
A substitution now coming in for Jefferson, number 34, Kevin Smith. He leads this ball club in scoring. He's got a 15 or 14-point average. He had 15 in the big win over Handley.
Smith is a junior, and he can light it up.
Here's a three from Poland, and write it down. Poland now with 4 points. It's a 6-0 lead for the Jefferson Cougars.
That's exactly why he may be starting tonight. The normal starter for the Cougars is Kendall Carr, but they went with Poland tonight, and it may be paying off.
Chalice, cross court to Adams, 18-footer. He passes it down low, but no one's home. Marlon Green turned to the bucket, and just as he did, Adams came low with the pass, and there was no one there to catch it. Jamie, 6-0 run for Jefferson, and we're already halfway through the first quarter of play. That cannot be good news for Coach Dave Rogers and the Bulldogs.
But the Bulldogs are playing good defense, so they're right in this.
Nothing but air on the 8-foot baseline, Jay, from number 42, Brett Lewis. Martinsburg runs it up. Grantham and Adams do most of the ball handling in this offense. That would have been a 2 for Marlon Green. No good. Rebound, Jefferson. Bootsy Washington pushes it up ahead. Smith can't handle it. He kicks it back to Washington for 3, and that one's off the iron. Smith, board. We've got a whistle and I think a 3-second violation against Jefferson. You got to be impressed with the way Jefferson pushed the basketball up the floor that time, Jamie. Bootsy Washington doing a good job of clearing the pass and getting it up to Kevin Smith. Just can't convert.
They will do that all night long. You coach to your player personnel, and the Cougars have some players that can run the floor, good jumpers, they're fast, and they will take the fast break whenever it's there.
Grantham wheels and deals. Now the 15-footer inside the paint is no good for Martinsburg, and they're going to run it the other way. They are 0 for the night. Richie Sutherland couldn't get that one to go. At this point, they'd settle for a free throw.
I think you're right. They'll start falling, though, and Martinsburg is getting the shots they want.
Oh, a nice look from Smith. Good pass. Kevin Smith fed Brett Lewis down low, wide open, and good job from Smith to get the open man. And at this point, Martinsburg's going to take a timeout, and so will we. The score, 8-0 in favor of the Jefferson Cougars. 2:29 to play. We'll be back with more first quarter action after this.
WYVN-TV, Fox 60, Martinsburg, Greencastle, Waynesboro.
If it's going to happen for you, it's because you make it happen.
Can I see Latin lunch?
Bring it up.
That means college and paying tuition.
Bandit.
The answer could be an Air Force ROTC scholarship.
How many F-16s you bringing in, Major?
You'll get an education and the training to become an Air Force officer.
Yeah, man. Radio check. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Okay, 2 F-16s to hot 6. Right on position and hold. Let me take a look at this guy.
Right that tower, airback 666, 7 miles northeast with the cardiac.
Roger, Ronan, thanks. Hold those 2 F-16s short.
Send the F-15 around.
Switch ILS. In-flight emergency, Aerovac 666 on the ground in 7 minutes with cardiac patient.
Airback's 2 miles out.
With an Air Force ROTC scholarship, you can go as far as your talent and drive take you.
They'll be all right. They're down now.
Aim high. Air Force.
Well, back at the rack, and there's a nice shot of Kevin Smith. How about the pass, Jamie? Looked good there.
It sure did, and both teams have already gone about 8 players deep. So they're not scared to go to their benches tonight, and that'll pay off in the fourth quarter with their key players rested.
Antonio Adams decides not to take it inside, kicks it back to Grantham. Nice move, and he can't get it to fall. That's been the story for the Bulldogs tonight. But Grantham was fouled, and he's going to go to the line to take 2 free ones.
Those type of plays by Grantham worked great last night because the nearest tall player to Martinsburg's Tal Thompson for Hedgesville was 4 inches shorter. So if you're throwing up off the backboard, chances are Thompson will be there to get the rebound.
I guess that wasn't a shooting foul. Martinsburg on the inbound play, and hey, they're on the board. Richie Sutherland with the shot inside the paint cuts it to 8-2. 2 minutes to go, first quarter. Mike Sennett can't find the bottom. Martinsburg running 3-on-1, but the pass is lost. Nice hustle by Richie Sutherland to try to save it. The 6'4", 185 sophomore, Jamie. Looking good, hustling on both ends of the floor for the Bulldogs.
Sutherland is a much heralded player from Martinsburg, and he's shown flashes of brilliance. If you caught it last night, he had a great block against a Hedgesville player on a layup.
Oh, Jefferson just went right through the Martinsburg press, but they could not convert. Jamie, Jefferson almost acted like Martinsburg wasn't even there on the press.
Textbook passing on that full court press.
Adams for 3. No, rebound Grantham. He's going to kick it out and start again. He wants to try. Can't get it to go. Martinsburg doing a good job getting second and third shots off. The problem is they just can't make them count. That was Marlon Green with the board and second effort, but still only 1 bucket so far for the Bulldogs. Richie Sutherland's 2 points. As you look at Kevin Smith on the bench, he's out now, going to catch his breath.
Smith committed that foul, and Martinsburg has a good trip up the floor here. After the timeout, they've been doing everything right.
Kevin Smith already with 2 fouls, and that's something we'll keep an eye on. Nice baseline shot for Marlon Green. 8-4. They've cut it to 4. 1:12 to go in the first quarter. Oh, nice move on the drive.
How about Antonio Adams taking the charge? It looks easy, Jay, but it's gut check time when you have a 6'5" player coming at you full speed. To stand there and take the charge, you have to credit Adams.
Well, with 1:06 to go, we're going to take another timeout. 8-4 is the score in favor of the Jefferson Cougars.
Good job by John Lowry to call a timeout and stop that run by Martinsburg.
Jefferson, Jamie, doing what they have to do to stay in the basketball game. At this point, what they have to do is just keep hoping that Martinsburg doesn't hit their shots. You know, they've only hit 2 from the floor. I know they've taken at least 10. When you're only shooting 20% or lower, it's going to be tough to win any games.
Martinsburg has gone to a smaller lineup. You notice Tal Thompson was on the bench. They brought in Richie Sutherland. Sutherland will come in and play center, but it's really like a 3-forward rotation.
In the next 60 seconds, you could become a millionaire. Good evening and welcome to the Lotto America drawing. My name's Barb Geist. Special congratulations go out to Mr. and Mrs. Bernard McGraw of Kentland, Indiana. They won $2 million last week and will be celebrating their 63rd wedding anniversary in January. Our jackpot tonight is worth an estimated $4 million. It can be yours if you match all 6 numbers drawn. Our first number is number 9, followed by 48, number 48. And there's 35, number 35. Remember, we're looking for 6 numbers in any order. Here's 45, number 45. Our broadcast is being monitored by Ernst & Young. And there's a 34, number 34. And a 14, number 14. Our jackpot is $4 million. If nobody wins tonight, Wednesday night's jackpot will be worth an estimated $6 million. Let's review tonight's numbers. 9, 48, 35, 45, 34, and 14. Thanks for playing, and good luck from Lotto America.
Job in the backcourt, but it seems as soon as Jefferson breaks the timeline, they're doing basically what they need to do, go low post with it. So far, they've run it twice. Brett Lewis has been wide open both times.
Credit the Jefferson's players. They are well schooled on how to beat a press, and they're throwing that long pass to the wide open player. They're keeping a cool head.
Martinsburg trying to go inside, ball.
Okay, Sutherland was the player inside on that, Jay. Did you notice how many white jerseys were around him? 4. That's why they need to hit some outside shots.
Checking back into the game now, or into the game for the first time, is Ron Kidrick. And he brings a little muscle to this lineup, Jamie, a 5'11 junior. And he is a guy that will go inside and mix it up a little bit, and right now that could be what Jefferson needs. Kidrick outside. Bootsy Washington's 3 is no good, and that's the end of the first quarter, and our score is 10-6 in favor of Jefferson. Kind of a slow-paced first quarter, but a good one nonetheless. Jefferson leads. We've played one in the shootout finals of the big school division. 10-6 is our score in favor of Jefferson.
For the past 18 years, Shenandoah Federal and its employees have promoted area youth and have worked for the betterment of education in our community, from kindergarten to elementary school, from high school to college. And once again, Shenandoah Federal stands behind our pledge to support the future of education. That's why we proudly sponsor the Shenandoah Federal Holiday Shootout, showcasing the basketball talents from 8 area high schools. Come out to Shepherd College December 26th, 27th, and 28th and cheer on your home team. Sponsored by Shenandoah Federal Savings Bank, FDIC insured.
The Shenandoah Federal Holiday Shootout is being brought to you in part by Winchester Printers, Braddock Street, Winchester. By AmeriGas on Cameron Street in Winchester and North Royal Avenue in Front Royal. And the Royal Crown Cola Bottling Company of Winchester. For all your printing needs, see Winchester Printers. This winter, you'll stay a lot warmer when you call AmeriGas. And to beat the unquenchable thirst, try Royal Crown Cola.
Guy Sharp, the winning coach tonight for the small school championship for Musselman High. A guy that was a pretty exciting game. How did you think your boys played?
Well, we were looking for improvement tonight from our previous games, and we got that. We were looking to come out and defend our title, and hopefully we could be competitive with a real good team from Clark County. We did get that improvement, and I thought some kids looked real good tonight.
That was quite a barn burner. Kind of hard on the old ticker to win one at the buzzer like that, isn't it?
Yeah, that's tough. We'll take those wins if we can. Anytime.
Okay, thanks a lot, Guy. Now back over to Jamie and Jay.
All right, Norvell, thanks a lot. Standing by with Musselman's coach. You know, there's a ball club, Jamie, that's got a lot to look forward to this year. What a game they played in the small school championship to come back and beat Clark County. Actually, Clark County was down 9 with about 2 minutes to go, and they made a huge run, a 10-0 run, in fact, to take the lead. But the Applemen were there at the end when they needed to be, and they pulled out the win.
Congratulations to the Applemen. They've now won this tournament 2 years in a row in the small school division.
Back to this one at the line for Martinsburg. Number 44, Marlon Green. He hits the first. Number 54, Jamie Stevenson, whistled for the foul. Jefferson, that is his second, team 6th now. The second one won't go for Green. Martinsburg's board, no good. 10-7. Adams with the steal down low, nice dish. And they get the bucket. Number 23, Kevin Crawford, who has checked into the game, did a fine job of scooping up and taking the pass from Adams for the bucket. 10-9 now. It's just a 1-point Jefferson lead. And again, Martinsburg presses. Jefferson tries to break. Not much going on inside. Kidrick with the 18-footer.
Another one of Jefferson's stars on the gridiron, also faring well on the basketball court, Ron Kidrick.
Martinsburg down 3, 12-9, 7 minutes left, first half. Ball knocked around, finally saved. The 15-footer is not close for Richie Sutherland, and that puts Jefferson's offense back into action. Kidrick will run the show. Nice passing. They try to get inside, but Jamie Stevenson shuffled his feet on the travel. He turns it back over to Martinsburg.
Jamie Stevenson has been quiet so far as starter and power forward for Jefferson. He is usually a focal point of their offense, and so far he's been shut down by the Bulldogs.
He's averaging 10 points a game so far in this young season, but he has not been on the board tonight. Martinsburg down by 3, Jamie.
Jay, he's going to take a seat next to Coach Lowry, and Coach Lowry will talk it over with him.
15-footer for Adams finds the bottom. He has 4. Martinsburg now trails by 1. Adams has a pretty jumper, Jimmy.
He is a smooth player. You have to love watching him. And if he starts to hit those, look out for the Cougars. That's going to change their defensive schemes.
I think he's their go-to man. He's got a nice-looking shot. Jefferson finding things tough on offense. They work it around the perimeter, hoping to find something inside, but Tal Thompson doing a good job shutting things down in the paint. Ball swatted away by Thompson, and that gives it back to the Bulldogs. They're going to run it the other way.
Very underrated defensive player, Tal Thompson. Some big blocks last night, and a lot of turnovers like that were forced by Thompson.
Adams shakes and bakes, moves in from 7, can't find it. Nice tip, won't go. Thompson tried to get it to go on the tip, it just wasn't there. Bootsy Washington brings it up to the Cougars, who lead by 1. Check that, they lead by 4. Nice free from Bootsy Washington, his first free in the game, 15-11.
You get the idea that Bootsy Washington can do anything he wants to on the basketball court, Jay, and that shows right there. He just felt it, he pulled up and hit it with a player all over him.
Grantham, nice move to shake one man, but his shot is swatted away. Washington's going to run it up. Oh, the dish a little hard, and he's obviously upset with himself. He had...
Great idea, though. You get the adrenaline. You get the adrenaline flowing, Jay, when you make a play like that, a nice block, and he wants to come up and hit a three-pointer. A lot of players would take it, but he opted for try and make something easier inside.
15-11, Jefferson is led all the way. 4:55 to go in the first half. Chalice with the pass down low, nothing doing there. Here comes Jefferson, Joel Poland. Gets it to Washington, he's gonna drive in, the 5-footer, no good. Foul before the shot.
Bootsy is starting to take control of this game right now. A big reason that Jefferson is up by 4 points. Unlike Musselman, we will not have a repeat winner in this division. Musselman has won 2 years in a row, but the defending champion, the Hanley Judges, were knocked out of the tournament by Jefferson.
Jamie, a timeout on the floor, and we're going to do the same. 15-11 in favor of the Jefferson Cougars. We'll be back after this.
APR, PMI, points, escrows, confused? Shenandoah Federal will help end the confusion in planning your first home purchase. And we offer a special savings plan to help make that purchase possible. Home Saver Plus. Come in today and let our home loan officer show you how. With the help of the Home Saver Plus savings plan, you can fulfill your dream of owning your own home. Home Saver Plus, a home savings plan that pays you our regular savings rate, plus up to an extra 3% cash bonus toward the purchase of your new home. Shenandoah Federal, helping you achieve the American dream with Home Saver Plus. You can do it, and we can help.
Pennington's Auto Center, located on Edwin Miller Boulevard, Martinsburg, is your one-stop shopping center for all of your automotive needs. If you're looking for a used car or truck, it's here. If you're looking for quality auto or truck parts at discount prices, it's here. If you're looking for custom wheels or speed parts, it's here. If you're looking for quality repair or service on your car and truck, it's here, all under one roof. Pennington's Auto Center, Martinsburg.
We're back. 4:40 to go, second quarter. Jefferson with a 4-point lead, 15-11. A slow-paced game, but a close one nonetheless. Martinsburg, I guess, really could be not only in it, but could have a substantial lead if they cashed in on some of their buckets down low, Jamie. They just had a rough shooting night so far. The three from Poland is no good. Adams skies for the board. Boy, he went up for that one.
I think Martinsburg has to be happy where they are right now because Jefferson has been blowing teams out of the water early on this season, including Fort Hill in a CVAL league matchup.
Oh, absolutely. They do need to be happy with where they are because it could be much worse. Ball knocked around, turned over. Jefferson's going to bring it back. Left to right on your screen. Here they come on offense. Bootsy Washington in no major hurry to get it over the timeline. Not much happening inside for Jefferson. They kick it around the perimeter 3 or 4 passes before they can find any daylight. Poland for 3, in and out.
Jefferson had to settle for another long shot. They're usually an inside team with some of those good forwards that they have, so it's a good job by Martinsburg on defense.
Yeah, in particular, Tal Thompson, he's just shutting inside down. Grantham from the long 3 range, can't get it. Adams saves it back to Grantham, up top now to Chalice, who took steps. We are in double digits now on turnovers for both clubs. They've been going back and forth with not a whole lot of points going on the board. 15-11, 3:34 to go in the second quarter. It's a good one.
Kip Chalice is frustrated, but he is the perfect type of point guard for Martinsburg offense. They have a great front line with Green, Thompson, and Adams, so you want a point guard that doesn't shoot too much and will get you the ball.
Washington with it. On the perimeter again. Nice pass, Kidrick. He takes a step up, but Thompson comes out of his post to block it. Bootsy Washington is there for the rebound, putback. He has 5.
That's a bonus. Whenever your point guard gets a rebound and puts it back up and in, that's not something you expect.
Well, what happened was Thompson came out of his low post position, and that left the open wide open. the middle wide open, rather, and they took advantage of it. Thompson with the board, 5-footer, a little too strong, and they have got to hit those shots in close. I know Dave Rogers pulling his hair out when they miss all those inside shots. Oh, Thompson with the block. It looked clean, but apparently a little too aggressive, and that will send number 42, Brett Lewis, to the line. If I'm not mistaken, that is just the first, it may be the second. No, it is the first on Cal Thompson.
You like to see Jefferson get the ball to Brett Lewis because he's got the moves inside to either draw a foul or put it up and in.
Well, the big guy a little too strong there. 6'7" junior, number 42, Brett Lewis. 14 points in the win over Handley. 63-43. That was a pretty easy one for the Jefferson Cougars, who stand at 3-0, and Lewis misses both. And that hurts.
It sure does, and that'll play an effect late in the game because free throws win or lose a ball game.
Well, many times they do, and coaches always impress on their players that you just have to make them when no one's in front of you. Those are big. Grantham with it on the far side. He goes cross court to Antonio Adams. Martinsburg very patient on offense, looking for something inside, but with that 1-3-1, it's just tough to get it past. Oh, the three for Antonio Adams. There was a whistle before the foul. Count the basket now. Apparently it was an inadvertent whistle. So the three is good for Adams. He now has 7 points. It's a 17-14 Jefferson lead, 2:07 to play in the first half.
How tremendous was that shot? A turnaround from three-point land on the baseline.
Jamie, I'm a little confused as to why the whistle. And I think the officials may be as well. I know Jefferson coach John Lowry wants an explanation. A whistle blew as Adams was shooting the ball, but apparently it was inadvertent. No foul called. Good work there by Martinsburg.
Martinsburg learned their lesson. They can't get beat too many times before they realize they need somebody deep to guard against that man under the net.
Boy, he is warming up. Antonio Adams with the 18-footer. And when this guy gets hot, Jamie, he can really hurt you. 17-16, it's a 1-point Jefferson lead.
Adams had 19 last night, and he has 9 already tonight.
Bootsy for three, a little strong. Kidrick comes out of there with the ball, and a whistle and a foul on Corey Grantham, the 5'10 junior.
Bootsy is right on. The 2 threes that he has missed were just a little bit long, and he's going to start to light it up pretty soon.
Jamie, it took me a while, but I think I figured it out. Number 44, Marlon Green, has 1 foul, and I think on the three-pointer a little while ago from Antonio Adams, Green may have fouled away from the ball after the shot, and that's why the whistle. Nice move, baseline by number 10, Joel Pollen.
Meaning Green now has 2?
Green has 1 foul.
Okay.
He just picked his first one up on the Adams three a little bit ago. Nice move, Jamie, baseline by Poland. That stretches Jefferson's lead back to 3. A minute to play, first half. Ball batted around. Jefferson saves it. Martinsburg, rather. Adams drives in from 10. No good. There's a foul underneath. I think they caught Brett Lewis on the shove. Lewis's first personal foul, and Adams will go to the line. Martinsburg is now in the bonus. How about Adams, Jamie? He's looking good now in the second quarter. He's really warmed up.
I'm surprised to see Tal Thompson on the bench so much for Martinsburg. He's not in foul trouble that we know of. He may just be a little tired from last night.
I think that's probably what it is. He's not only a little tired, but I know down the stretch, this is going to be one of those games where you're going to need everybody late. You might as well rest him a little bit before the half and give him an extended half. Martinsburg certainly doing it okay without him for the time being. Jefferson with the turnover. They're going to run it back the other way. 42 seconds to go, first quarter. They have a 2-point lead over the Bulldogs.
Mike Sennett had the open lane.
Yeah, you know, that's funny. Sennett had the open shot. It almost looked like they were going to work the clock for a last-second shot, but he kicked it over to Joel Poland, who immediately took a shot. So apparently they just trying to get points when they can. 19-17, 32 seconds to go. First half of play. Jamie, the quality of play in this tournament has really been impressive.
It certainly has, and Joe Poland is one play that I wanted to remark on. He got the start tonight in replace of Kendall Carr, and he's added quite a bit of offensive support.
Wow.
Because Joel Poland, in the first half alone, already has 6 points.
Jamie, that is every basketball player's nightmare. Richie Sutherland on the free. Found air. Kidrick, nice shot underneath.
Loose ball as he just picked it up and was in the right spot at the right time.
Did a good job to gather the loose ball and stick it back in. He has 4, and boy, does he play defense. On Adams on the perimeter, making things tough. 9 seconds to go. Grantham on the drive, no good. Jefferson has 5 seconds to get one off. They better look at the clock. It's down to 3. Bootsy down low, and that's going to do it. So maybe the clock just slipped away from the Cougars, but they looked pretty good in the first half. Just the same. 21-17 is our score at the half. Jefferson over Martinsburg by 4. Maybe they'll be ready to go in the second half. Now they've got the jitters out. You know, this is definitely an arch rivalry, Jamie. And we saw the intensity of the players early on. Maybe that should account for some of the nervousness. What do you look for in the second half?
I think they'll come back out and probably put out a little bit more, bring their half-court pressure out a little bit more on both sides, and to try to pressure the ball with the guards. But you got outstanding guard play on both of the teams with Corey Grantham, also with Bootsy Washington. They can handle the ball and they can handle the pressure. So it's going to be up to those two guys to be the catalyst for these two teams to get them the rest of the other 4 guys on each team in the offense.
All right, let's run down some halftime scoring, Norvell. Not much to talk about for the Martinsburg Bulldogs. They were led by Antonio Adams. Good effort. He finished with 10 points in the first half, including a big three-pointer. Marlon Green with 3. Richie Sutherland and Kevin Crawford each chipped in with a bucket inside, so not a whole lot to talk about. Jamie, how about Jefferson? They had a pretty good first half.
It certainly did. The scoring is more well-balanced for the Cougars. Joel Poland leads it with 6. Bootsy Washington 5. Brett Lewis has 4, as does Ron Kidrick, who came off the bench to have a solid first half.
Yeah, he did. He played very well off the bench, and that's another question that I will address to Norvell. Kidrick is a guy who gets it done on the football field, but he came in and really looked pretty good on the basketball court. Surprised me.
Yeah, he's a young man all through his junior high and also in his high school career has been very cool. Pressure doesn't seem to bother him. As you notice his demeanor out on the floor, he doesn't get rattled. I don't care what the defense is. He's always very cool and very settled in his game. And he'll take some pressure shots and make it look real easy.
And he plays in-your-face defense, too. He's the guy that gets it done on both sides of the floor. 21-17 is our score. We are at the half of the Shenandoah Federal Shootout. This is the championship game, and not only is it the championship game of the big school shootout, but it means so much more to these schools who are arch rivals. 21-17, we're going to be back with second half action, and it should be some great second half action. Don't go away. There's much more ahead in the championship game of the Shenandoah Federal Shootout. here on the court. But, you know, last year was not kind to Martinsburg in terms of graduation. They lost a great deal. And, Jamie, just for them to be at 1-1 and just 4 points down from a team that's 3-0, that's speaking well for the Bulldogs early on.
This is a Bulldog squad that handed Jefferson 3 losses last year, and so much is made in sports about how it's hard to beat one team 3 times in a year, but they did it in overtime and then twice, once by 3 points, once by 4 points.
21-17, we're ready to get going now in the third quarter. Jefferson will inbound. And we're back to action. Bootsy Washington with the basketball for the Cougars.
Look at Jefferson's offense standing around. I think they need to get a little more motion going so that they don't have to settle for long shots like that.
Hey, I'm sure that was a pass. I'm sure that was meant to be a pass.
It looked
Joel
like
Poland with the nice reception of the pass and the easy layup for 2, 23-17. Nice tip. Can't be saved, though. Good heads-up play by Pedro Gonzalez. Just couldn't track it down. He would have needed to be, I guess, Speedy Gonzalez to get to that.
Exactly. Martinsburg, though, really needs to do more of the same. They're patient. They're pushing the ball inside. When it's not there, Mr. Antonio Adams has been having a big game on the perimeter.
Grantham with the ill-advised pass. Bootsy Washington against Antonio Adams, and Adams forces him to miss, but there on the putback.
Good job by Pedro Gonzalez to stay with it after he missed once.
And already there's going to be a timeout for Martinsburg because, again, Jefferson starts out red hot, a 4-point run, and they stretch their 4-point lead to an 8-point lead. 25-17 is the score. Jefferson just getting it done in the early stages of the second half, much like the first half.
Now, I understand this is Jefferson's scheme, and that's the offense that they always run, but it seems to me they've just got to get more motion and work some free guys for some turnaround jumpers a little bit closer to the hoop.
Yeah, that wouldn't hurt. I know if you're looking at things from Martinsburg's standpoint, they have to be somewhat disappointed in the way they've shot the basketball, but as you look in on the huddle of the Jefferson Cougars, Coach John Lowry has to be pleased at the same time how his club has got the job done.
Is Coach Lowry a legend in these parts or what? Last year he won his 500th career victory as a baseball coach. He's only been coaching for 6 years for the Cougars basketball team, already almost 70 victories. That's a lot of high school victories, almost 600 combined.
He definitely knows how to relate to high school athletes. There's no question about that. Martinsburg now on the attack. Adams, cross court. This goes to Kip Shallis, who was hammered by Bootsy Washington.
Did you see the passing that time by Martinsburg? They are so well coached. Into the corner, nobody is hanging on to the ball more than 1 second. If the shot's not there, they're finding an open man.
Martinsburg now will inbound, trailing 25-17, exactly 7 minutes to go, third quarter. Grantham with it, 15-footer off the glass and no good. Now Jefferson wants to run. It's Bootsy on the run with Pedro. And the tip in from Jamie Stevenson was a little short. Jefferson that time putting on the afterburners, running it up the court, but they couldn't get it done. And they were whistled for the foul on Jefferson. That was number 54, Jamie Stevenson, his third. And really, he's the only Cougar or player at this point in any foul trouble with 3.
Stevenson just a little too aggressive over the back, but coaches won't get mad at you for that one. It's just intense play.
Grantham to Adams for 3, no. Thompson with the board. He goes off the glass and throws it in. And how about Tal Thompson with his first 2 points of the game, Jamie?
Well, if you tell Coach John Lowry early in the game as you see a foul or a nice play by Kip Shallis to draw the charge, if you tell Coach Lowry early in the game that Tal Thompson is only going to have 2 points, he's going to say, hey, my Cougars are doing great.
Yeah, absolutely. Pedro Gonzalez now with 3 fouls to join Jamie Stevenson. So some of the big guys for Jefferson in a little bit of trouble here early in the third. Adams to Grantham. Out on the wing, being double-teamed. Good defense by the Cougars. They are attacking the ball. They're putting 2 players on the basketball now. There was a whistle, and it looks like they're going to call number 10 for the foul, Joel Poland, his first.
The 1-3-1 defense puts 4 players on the side of the ball, so the skip pass is always available for Martinsburg to find an open man on the weak side.
Well, they're double-teaming the basketball, yeah, so there is someone open all the time. Good heads-up play there by Kip Shallis. He saw he had no chance to stay in bounds and save the ball, so he just skipped it off a Martinsburg player and As Coach Dave Rogers looks on, I'm sure he likes that play.
Keep in mind, Kip Chalice is a junior. Last year as a sophomore, played some JV, didn't get a lot of experience on the varsity.
Grantham a little out of control. Jefferson with the ball. They go the other way, and Bootsy Washington hands it over to his numerical counterpart, Antonio Adams, and says, you take it. Chalice goes into the low post for Marlon Green, and that one's knocked all over the place.
You know what we've seen a lot of tonight is Corey Grantham with some wild playground moves as he charges to the basket, and they're not falling for him. He needs to go to something else.
Well, he's just a junior, a 5'10" guard, and I guess that's something that comes with maturity, but he seems to be maybe forcing his shots a little too much, and at this point, Martinsburg needs to be very selective with their shots. 25-19, they've scored just 2 through the first 3 minutes of the third quarter.
Forget about getting the ball down to Brett Lewis low.
Well, there's the 3 from the wing for Pedro Gonzalez. He has 5 in the second half, 7 on the game, 28-19, the biggest lead of the game now for the Cougars. It's out to 9.
This is a big trip up the floor for Martinsburg.
I don't know about that call, Jamie. Marlon Green was down low working for his second shot, and Jefferson was just playing tower defense. They were just waiting for him to come up with the shot. It looked like it was a clean block, but...
Well, that is on Stevenson, and if my stats equal yours, that is 4 fouls on the senior, and that could be trouble for Jefferson. Actually, Stevenson, a junior.
That is his 4th foul. 28-19, 4:40 to go in the third quarter. It's a good one.
APR, PMI, points, escrows, confused? Shenandoah Federal will help end the confusion in planning your first home purchase. And we offer a special savings plan to help make that purchase possible. Home Saver Plus. Come in today and let our home loan officer show you how. With the help of the Home Saver Plus savings plan, you can fulfill your dream of owning your own home. Home Saver Plus, a home savings plan that pays you our regular savings rate, plus up to an extra 3% cash bonus toward the purchase of your new home. Shenandoah Federal, helping you achieve the American dream with Home Saver Plus. You can do it, and we can help. For the past 18 years, Shenandoah Federal and its employees have promoted area youth and have worked for the betterment of education in our community, from kindergarten to elementary school, from high school to college. And once again, Shenandoah Federal stands behind our pledge to support the future of education. That's why we proudly sponsor the Shenandoah Federal Holiday Shootout, showcasing the basketball talents from 8 area high schools. Come out to Shepherd College December 26th, 27th, and 28th and cheer on your home team. Sponsored by Shenandoah Federal Savings Bank, FDIC insured.
Jamie, what do you suppose Coach Lowry is saying to Jamie Stevenson, who just picked up his 4th foul over there?
I think he's just saying, settle down. You know, we've got a long way to go in this ball game. We're going to need you down the stretch. So take a breather, maybe for the rest of the third quarter, and then go back in and play a calm game. Keep your head about yourself.
Pedro Gonzalez also has 3 fouls, and he is in the game. A couple of misses there for Marlon Green.
Good rebound by Mike Sennett, who has been quiet so far on the offensive side of things for Jefferson.
Pulling for 3, write it down. Pulling now in double figures, he has 11. 31-19, it's a 12-point Cougar lead. Boy, it is a cold shooting night for Martinsburg. They have just 2 points through 4 minutes in the third quarter. 3 again. Not this time, rebounded by Green, and here he comes for the Bulldogs.
Martinsburg desperately needs to score. No hiding that fact right now. They're down by 12.
And they really need points badly. I mean, they're going to have to start being selective with their shots. Grantham gets them 3 in a hurry.
Wow, that's exactly what he did last night. When Martinsburg needed some big hoops, Corey Grantham was there, and that's why he started tonight.
31-22, his lead is cut to 9. Martinsburg has plenty of time. We're just 3:30 left in the third quarter. So this third quarter resembling the first quarter. Wow, Cal Thompson says, get that out of here, Bootsy Washington. And Martinsburg sets up on offense.
I think Tal Thompson and Antonio Adams are going to be 2 players that are forces by the end of the year.
The high bounce is not a good one for Adams, and here comes Jefferson. Bootsy puts the reins on, and he's going to set up the offense. The 18-footer from the baseline is off. Jefferson battles for the board. Whistle on a foul underneath. Hey, you know, Bootsy Washington at 5'8", not much of a match for Tal Thompson, who goes 6'7", but you got to give him credit for trying. He's not afraid to put that up in Thompson's face.
Nobody is going to tell Bootsy Washington what he can or cannot do on the basketball floor, and he's proved everybody wrong if they think he can't go inside. But back to my point about Antonio Adams and their front line with Tal Thompson. By the end of the year, when those two guys get some experience, keep in mind, neither of those guys started last year for Martinsburg. Their potential seems unlimited so far.
A couple of substitutions now. Marlon Green and Tal Thompson checking out of the game for Martinsburg. Checking into the game for Jefferson, number 34, Kevin Smith, who leads this ball club in scoring with 14 a game. He's yet to score so far tonight. Boy, a big block underneath by Adams. Here comes the Bulldogs.
Might have gotten away with a foul.
Adams turn around from 7 foot, and he throws it down.
Adams with a dozen on the night. They could use some big shots from him right now as they've closed the lead to 8.
Martinsburg putting together a little spurt here. 32-24, an 8-point Jefferson lead. 2:28 left to go here in the third quarter. Another substitution. Green checks back in. Kip Schallis goes out. Schallis yet to score. Green comes back into the game. He brings 3 points with him.
Tal Thompson on the bench for Martinsburg.
The three, a little strong for Joel Poland.
He's not afraid to take that shot, is he?
Not at all. Martinsburg now on offense. Adams with a nice move to get open. His shot's no good, but 44, Marlon Green with the board and then traveled. Also, Jamie, we need to mention Scott Hager has checked into the game for the Bulldogs. He's a 5'10", 160-pound senior.
You saw the intimidation factor down low by Brett Lewis, and it resulted in a Marlon Green travel.
Smith. Those are his first 2 points of the game.
Yes, we have not seen too much of Smith this game.
No, very limited action for Kevin Smith. He's a 6'3" transfer, a junior, a good ball player.
And he is their leading scorer on the year so far.
Hager, nice dish down low, but they cannot capitalize. Green misses the bunny, but Sutherland there for the putback.
Okay, there's a nice job by Sutherland. Just a sophomore, he is highly heralded, and you see why. A big play for Martinsburg.
Gonzalez to Lewis, but he can't hit it. Here comes Grantham and the Bulldogs. Grantham kicks it out to Hager, fakes the 15-footer, goes loose, but nice block by Kevin Smith.
Wow, where was the foul there?
Well, a lot of times when you expect to see the foul, you don't get it, and then other times you don't see it and they call it.
There haven't been a lot of trips to the free throw line for either team, Jay, and neither team has gone more than 10 times.
Brett Lewis picked up his third foul, so now Lewis and Gonzalez with 3. Stevenson still on the line. For Jefferson, he has 4. Hager drives inside. Baseline to Adams. He's soft. Oh, the nice one-hander for Richie Sutherland. He has 6 now, 4 in the second half. It's a 6-point Jefferson lead.
That was a great shot. He didn't have any room to jump. He just kind of flicked his wrist, and he was tall enough that he just had enough on the ball to get it in.
34-28, 35 to go. Martinsburg keeps it alive and then loses it out of bounds. Jefferson keeps the basketball. Good hustle by Hager to try to save it. He's a spunky ball player, Jamie.
Richie Sutherland is branding himself on Eastern Panhandle basketball right now. If you haven't heard of him before, you'll hear a lot of him the next 3 years.
34-28. We've got half a minute to go in the third. Jefferson, whose lead was 12, is now cut in half to 6. And steps called on Kevin Smith.
Okay, the crowd is starting to get into the ball game, and this is the type of action that we expected from these two teams. A lot of pounding down low, an inside game where it was won on the boards.
And Martinsburg, again, after a slow start in the second half, has caught fire in the late going to pull it back to 6. Hager from 21 away, works it inside, bad pass. Here come the Cougars. Nice move by Washington. The bounce pass to Gonzalez, who can't get the bucket, but he was fouled. How about the nice behind-the-back move by Bootsy Washington?
Again, you can't emphasize enough what having Bootsy Washington at point guard means for Jefferson. I'll tell you what, Jay, these teams are going to play each other again during the regular season. They will meet in the sectionals, and I am just one of many fans who is going to want to be at those games.
Yeah, how about it? Good basketball. 6 ticks to go in the third quarter. Gonzalez, no. Pedro with 8 points on the night. That is 3 shy of his season average.
Tal Thompson has been on the bench for the Bulldogs for the last 3 minutes. He will be rested for the fourth quarter, and don't think he won't be a huge factor.
Oh, boy. Wow. That is I cannot believe that call, Jamie. They were called for lack of action on 5 seconds, but the game clock is down to 3 when they inbounded. The clock was at 6. I don't know how they got to a 5 count so quick.
And I think that's exactly what Coach Dave Rogers is saying right now to the referees. He is in disbelief. Coach Lowry, on the other hand, he's going, oh, yeah, that was 5 seconds.
They counted to 5 and only 3 seconds. Now what they've done is they've reset the game clock.
Well, they're resetting now the clock, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened there. We can only guess, but they called Martinsburg for a 5-second lack of action violation, and then they put 3 seconds back on the clock. Jefferson's last second shot, tipped up, no good. So it remains 35-28, but wow, what a strange set of events. 35-28, Jamie. Jefferson with a 7-point lead.
The referees are really letting these two teams play, Jay. There was some serious fouling going on in the last 5 minutes.
35-28, a 7-point Jefferson lead. We have 8 minutes to play.
I'd like nothing better than to work myself out of a job, honestly. And I know the other volunteers feel like I do. We get a great deal of satisfaction when we finish a stretch of highway, then look back at what we've done. But the point is, we shouldn't have to do it at all. People ought to take enough pride in our state that they think twice before pitching trash out their window.
We salute the volunteers that adopt the highway program and remind you that littering is against the law. Anyone who violates our litter control laws will be fined and could be sent to jail.
Get involved in the preservation of our state's natural beauty. Volunteer for the Adopt a Highway program by calling 1-800-322-5530. Show your pride and keep West Virginia litter-free.
Or Mr. Don Lindsay, who for many years was the official scorekeeper for Martinsburg. Mr. Lindsay, how many years did you keep the score for Martinsburg?
In the mid-1930s, Mr. John Coburn came to Martinsburg as a high school football coach and basketball coach. And I started in the mid-30s, about 33 or 34, and continued until I resigned in 1977 at my retirement from work with Potomac Edison Company.
You've done a great job. What do you think of the game tonight? You've seen a lot of changes over the years of the Martinsburg Bulldogs, haven't you?
Definitely, there's been a lot of changes in the basketball game. Then you look mostly at zone defenses. Now it's a mixture of everything, and the game is much faster. No question about that.
Okay, thanks a lot. We're going to take it back over to Jay. Thanks a lot, Mr. Lindsay. Now back to you, Jay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Norvell. You saw the three-pointer for Scott Hager. That makes it a 4-point game, 35-31. How about Norvell Willis, Jamie, getting it done for us up in the stands?
Thank you very much. Norvell has done a great job throughout the tournament. And how about Scott Hager getting it done, Jay? That three-pointer was a big one for Martinsburg. The lead is only 4 as we start the fourth quarter, and there's a steal.
Hager coming up big. His pass results in 2 points for Kevin Crawford. So Martinsburg now, after a very slow third quarter, is right back in at 35-33. They trail by just a bucket.
Don't go anywhere. Hold the fort. Less than 7 minutes of action, a great ball game, and then after this, of course, we have West Virginia in the Cable Clark Classic.
Martinsburg with the turnover. Whistle and foul, and guess what, folks? That's 4 on Pedro Gonzalez. And Jefferson with that is going to take a timeout, and not a bad timeout, Jamie, because it was 35-28 exactly 1 minute and 22 seconds ago. Now it is just a 2-point lead for the Cougars, who are up 35-33.
Great run by Martinsburg. A lot of spurts by both teams. It's Martinsburg's turn to have the momentum. I mentioned the Cable Car Classic. Really a great holiday filled with sports on WYVN TV.
Absolutely, Jamie. And here's a look for you to go inside of the Martinsburg huddle. Coach Dave Rogers has to be very pleased that his team is just down 2 points after playing as slow in the first and third quarters as his team had.
17 years at the helm of the Bulldogs. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and just a tremendous coach for Martinsburg. He's the reason year in and year out that they are the king of Eastern Panhandle basketball.
Well, he's definitely seen it all in his years as the Bulldogs mentor. 35-33. His team is fought back in this one, and you know, Jamie, much like Hedgesville did last night, Martinsburg doing the same here tonight, coming back, refusing to quit. They just trail by 2, and there's plenty of basketball to go, 6.5 to play in the game.
Should be plenty of trips to the foul lines for both teams, and we'll see who connects down the stretch.
Marlon Green now 2 of 4, and the fans are getting into it. The Jefferson faithful. Green misses the second, but Martinsburg will, no, they lose the basketball.
Oh, look at Coach Rogers. He's saying, wow, what were you looking at? Not the same play I saw.
He was right there. I guess he had just as good a view as the official did, but apparently he disagreed. Jefferson gets the basketball. They have a 1-point lead. Bootsy Washington with it. Gonzalez from downtown, and that one's over the backboard. Jamie, something to keep in mind. Jamie Stevenson and Pedro Gonzalez are both in the game. They both have 4 fouls. Coach John Lowry cannot afford to lose either. And I guess he can hear me because he pulled Pedro out. It's going to give him a breather.
They have a lot of depth at the front line, though. They can bring in Mike Sennett, and you'd hate to see one of those players go out. But I don't think it's as big as losing Bootsy.
Jamie, that is the first Martinsburg lead of the game. 36-35 in favor of the Bulldogs on the Marlon Green 12-footer. Inside now goes number 54, Jamie Stevenson, and Jefferson gets it back.
Are those the first 2 points of the game for Stevenson, Jay?
Stevenson has not scored until that bucket. Green, a little short. Nice move underneath. But Richie Sutherland can't get it to go. Whistle and a foul.
Oh, I'm not sure about that. That may have been a charge.
Well, that goes against Antonio Adams. That is his second personal foul. It's only the team third, so not much to worry about there.
Stevenson kind of turned in the lane to go up floor and hit Adams, and I'm not sure Adams really made that much of a foul.
Kendrick with the 3. Jefferson's lead back to 4 now. 40-36 on the Kendrick 3. Green. No. Kendrick with the heads-up save. It goes to Bootsy Washington, who took a finger in the eye.
Nice save by Kendrick, and Bootsy's going to try and walk it off. He is a tough competitor, and I'm sure he'll be back.
Ron Kendrick providing a spark for the Cougars off the bench. Martinsburg trailing by 4. Jefferson with the 4-point lead in the ball. Yeah. And now Martinsburg getting a little aggressive. That's going to go against Kevin Crawford. That is just his first personal foul. No one on Martinsburg with more than 2.
Jefferson desperately needs to get the ball inside. No more of this 3-point shooting. They need some good shots down low to blow this one open.
Washington for 3. Wow.
Okay, check that. Let him fire away.
A 7-point lead on back-to-back threes for the Cougars. Adams, no. Nice tip in for Kevin Crawford. He goes high, shows a little athletic ability there, and it's back to 5, 43-38. Wide open underneath is Jamie Stevenson. He has 4. Now they've picked up the pace. It's a 7-point Cougar lead, Jamie.
Stevenson has showed up for the fourth quarter for the Cougars and is finally starting to play a great game.
Adams, cross court to Green. He loses it. Washington all alone. Watch him go. Jamie Stevenson wide open. Couldn't find the hole, but a foul, and Antonio Adams is not happy.
Look at the Jefferson players. They can feel it now with 4:12 left. And I'll tell you something, they had an easy layup right there.
Jamie, Antonio Adams whistled for the foul, and it was Kevin Smith going right in Adams' face, clapping his hands, and Adams just clapped right back. Martinsburg now with the ball. They trail by 7. Kidrick with the heads-up play. Knocked the ball loose, and it went off of Scott Hager's foot. Jefferson seems to counter every time Martinsburg brings it close. Wow. Oh! Jefferson is on fire.
Hello, Bootsy Washington. My goodness.
He was 20 feet away, twisting in the air, and still got it to go. Kevin Crawford has been there, Jamie. He has 6 points now in the second half, 8 on the game, 48-40, an 8-point lead. Jefferson with 3 3-pointers here in the fourth.
We'll see if that bucket stops the Cougars' momentum momentarily.
Kevin Smith can't get it, but the tip-in goes. Jamie Stevenson, who has held scoreless in the first half, just gives Jefferson a 10-point lead.
I ask you, where has Tal Thompson been in the fourth quarter? The Cougars have been eating them up on the boards. And one reason is Thompson has not been in.
50-40, we have 3:14 to go. Don't go away, it's a good one.
For the past 18 years, Shenandoah Federal and its employees have promoted area youth and have worked for the betterment of education in our community, from kindergarten to elementary school, from high school to college. And once again, Shenandoah Federal stands behind our pledge to support the future of education. That's why we proudly sponsor the Shenandoah Federal Holiday Shootout, showcasing the basketball talents from 8 area high schools. Come out to Shepherd College December 26th, 27th, and 28th and cheer on your home team. Sponsored by Shenandoah Federal Savings Bank, FDIC insured.
3:12 to go. 50-40 is the score. Martinsburg, who led by 1, now trails by 10. Jefferson answered the call, no question about that.
Tal Thompson is now in the game for Martinsburg, and he needs to become involved quickly.
Well, he took the shot and was fouled by Ron Kidrick. That's Kidrick's first personal foul.
So Sutherland will go to the line. Two big free throws by Richie Sutherland as the lead is now 10 for Jefferson. Good job by Sutherland to cut the lead to 9.
Sutherland with a pretty good showing here tonight. He has 7 points, and he's played well when they've needed him. Misses the second, and controlling the rebound is Jamie Stevenson, and Jefferson now sets up on offense. And Jamie, it's about that time where they can start working the clock. 2:47 to go. They'll be in no hurry to get a shot off with a 9-point lead.
If I know Jefferson, they're going to go for the throat, though, and keep playing hard.
Well, they do. Bootsy Washington with the deuce. He has 13, which is 1 more than his season average. Thompson underneath gets 2.
I just don't understand why Tal Thompson wasn't in the game down the stretch here in the fourth quarter.
52-43, Jefferson by 9. 2:13 to go and another turnover.
Okay, they can cut it to 7 here.
Crawford to Grantham, ball knocked loose and last touch by Stevenson. Martinsburg keeps it.
Stevenson is all over the place here in the fourth quarter, on the boards, into the scoring column, coming up with a steal there.
52-43. Jefferson led by 12, then trailed by 1, then stretched it back to 9, where they have it now. $1:55 to go, and Martinsburg needs points. Green, pump fake, drive, kicks it low to Thompson, who misses the shot, but how about the tip-in by Richie Sutherland? Now it's a 7-point game. Jefferson with 1:35 to go in the game.
Richie Sutherland with 9 points, none bigger than that tip-in.
Now it looks like Jefferson is ready to settle into their four-corner offense.
Not a bad idea.
No, not at all. 7-point lead, 121. Make Martinsburg foul you.
Time is on their side at this point.
I'm kind of surprised Martinsburg hasn't fouled yet. Bootsy Washington had a wide open shot, chooses to bring it back out. And Jamie, I'm a little surprised. There's a foul now on number 32, Corey Grantham, but I'm really quite surprised that they let 30 seconds tick off the clock before fouling. They have 2 fouls to give as they're not in the bonus, Jefferson. 16 fouls now on Martinsburg, so they're going to have to foul again.
But they're playing for the steal.
Thompson with the steal and breakaway. He wanted the intentional foul. He's not going to get it. Dave Rogers also signaling with the X. Oh, yeah, he does get it.
Good call, because the defensive player just went right at Tal's arms.
And Jamie, there's almost an instance where you just give up the bucket. Now they stand to give up 4 points as opposed to 2. You see the coaches trying to get their clubs motivated. Thompson, though, misses the free throw.
Okay, this is big. Tal Thompson from the line last night, Jay, 3 from 10. That's 3 for 10. That's 30%. He's going to have to do a little better than that right now.
Well, his first trip to the line tonight, and he's 0 for 2. Jefferson had it and lost it.
Make no mistake about it, Tal will be taking free throws at Martinsburg's next practice, possibly all practice long.
7-point lead. Green for 3 to cut it to 4, but he can't get it. Jefferson controls. And now all they have to do is run 50 seconds off the clock, and they win the Shenandoah Federal Shootout. 7-point lead, 45 to play, and being mauled is Ron Kidrick. And he will shoot 2, as that foul puts Martinsburg over the limit. They're in the bonus. From here on out, they'll shoot free ones.
You see the frustration in the faces of the Martinsburg's players, and that's because they were in this ballgame up until 2 or 3 minutes ago. But the Cougars down the stretch have played awfully tough, like Jamie Stevenson and Bootsy Washington coming up with some big buckets, and that has been the difference.
Kidrick hits the first, and with that one, the exits are the busiest place in the building. I mean, everyone's leaving this place.
Jefferson looking to go 4-0, Jay, and they will play again next Friday at home. They've had a lot of home contests, and later in the year they're going to have to hit the road, which could be a factor down the stretch.
Kidrick hits them both. He's had a good night. 9 points, 42 to go, and yes, Martinsburg needs a 3. They're down 9. Grantham is off. Green gets the board. He's going to kick it back out to Grantham, but it's stolen by Washington. He gets it up to Stevenson. Travel. Stevenson tried to get it over to Kidrick, and he may have put his feet together too many times. That gives it back to Martinsburg. They're down by 9 with 29 to play.
Jamie says, what? Me? I never travel.
Boy, Kidrick has not given up, that's for sure. Martinsburg can't even get a shot. Adams had a 3, goes inside, kicks it to Grantham, who is off, but there for the scoop and put back is number 35, Richie Sutherland, but at this point, it's academic. 10 seconds to play, 54-47. The lead is 7 for Jefferson.
Back to the academics anyway, Jay. They will be hitting school in a few weeks, and they will certainly go to the drawing board, Martinsburg, figure out what they could have done differently to win this ball game. And when they face Jefferson, I have a feeling the Bulldogs will be looking for a little revenge.
Well, Jamie, with 10 seconds to go, I can't see Martinsburg putting 8 points on the board, but you have to take your hats off to Jefferson and Coach John Lowry. You know, last year they lost 3 basketball games to Martinsburg. He told us in the pregame show they've lost 11 straight. So this is a very symbolic win for the Jefferson Cougars, possibly a passing of the torch in Eastern Panhandle basketball.
Absolutely, at least for the next few weeks anyway, until these two teams can meet again. Jefferson has a lot of players back from last year. They are an experienced team, and you saw that down the stretch. Martinsburg, as they play a few more games, will pick up that experience, and I think you're going to see an even closer game by the time the sectionals roll around.
Well, Jamie, it's evident by watching this Martinsburg club, they are a team that will only get better. Again, we talked about it earlier in the broadcast. This is a squad, Jamie, that lost all 5 starters. So the guys they put out on the floor are basically inexperienced players. And you can tell by looking at Adams and Thompson that all they need is time. They have the physical abilities. Give it a little time and a little clock out there. They're going to get much better, and by tournament time, they'll be ready.
I think you'll see Adams establish himself as the premier player in West Virginia basketball, at least in the Eastern Panhandle. By the end of the year, he will be playing great, as will a lot of these Martinsburg players. They have possibly the best front line out of the 4 schools in the Eastern Panhandle, with Green and Thompson and Adams, and if they can get some stable backcourt play out of Corey Grantham and guys like that, they will have a strong season again in 1992.
Jefferson now to inbound and hopefully tick 10 seconds off the clock. At least that's what they're thinking. But, oh, they're going to get a intentional foul called on number 35, Richie Sutherland, and that is the final nail in the coffin. 54-47 going to the line for Jefferson is number 12,
Mark Clay.
He's a 5'10 junior, Clay is.
Clay looking to get on the scoreboard. So, Jay, round 1 will apparently go to Jefferson. Stay tuned for round 2 and round 3 this year.
Oh, boy. He's got to be a little disappointed. Clay with a chance to get on the board. Couldn't do it. But his team leads by 7 with 8 seconds to play. Jefferson, of course, on the intentional, will inbound. Ball is taken over by Martinsburg's Corey Grantham. He goes out of control for the 3. Can't find it. And that'll do it. That bucket will not count. 54-47 is our final score as the Jefferson Cougars celebrate at center court. They are the 1991 champions of the Shenandoah Federal Shootout. A great effort, Jamie, from both clubs.
Absolutely. Both teams came to play Martinsburg with a big win over Hedgesville. Might have been a little bit tired tonight, but take no credit away from Jefferson. They are a ball club.
They most certainly are. They stand at 4-0. They will host Churchland next Friday at home, hoping to move to 5-1. As for Martinsburg, they slipped to 1-2, but Jamie, they have to be quite proud of the way they hung in there, despite the fact that they lose by 7. This was a ball club that, quite frankly, had a lot to accomplish in the first quarter. They had a lot to overcome, rather, and they hung in there and kept it close.
Absolutely, and Martinsburg, you know, they've got a lot of learning to do, and Coach Rogers will have them ready at the end of the season. Jefferson already has 3 wins now in the Cumberland Valley Athletic Conference. That equals all of their wins last year in that conference. They went 3-3. So Jefferson off to a very fast start, and Coach Lowry has to be pleased.
Good job. We're going to take a break. We've got more to come from the rack on the campus of Shepherd College. Again, the final score, 54-47. Jefferson wins the shootout.